Hi friends, it's Mrs. Hilling. Welcome to Reader's Workshop today. Today we're going to talk all about feelings in our books. And I wanted to tell you a little secret. When last week before we started learning from home, I was in the school office and I overheard Mr. Pleister talking to our friend Dr. Hansen. And I heard him telling him about how proud he was of all the learning that was happening in our classroom. And he said things like, you should see our Hilltop readers. They are still in kindergarten and are already avid readers. So I want you to think about that. And I wasn't really a part of the conversation necessarily, but I heard him talking about our kindergarten readers. And I want you to think how that made me feel. Okay, just kind of tell someone next to you, maybe a grown-up at your house, or think about it in your head. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready. You're right. It made me feel happy. But then I was thinking about that and was thinking, I'm like, well, I was happy, I guess, but is that the best word to describe how Mrs. Hillig was feeling right then? And I thought, no, it's not really the best word. I was really feeling proud. Proud would have been how I was feeling, because when I heard that, I went, oh, he's talking about our readers. It made me feel really, really good and really, really proud. So if you said proud or super duper happy or glad or excited, I think those would all be words that would make sense for how I was feeling that day. For readers today, I want to teach you that when thinking about how a character feels in a story, it helps to be as specific, that means as precise as you can be. So instead of just saying, he's happy, it's good to think, is that the best word for it? And to try to find just the right word to describe what you mean. So I'm not just talking about necessarily like happy feelings that a character might be feeling, but also helps to think of more precise words for the kind of sadness a person is feeling too. Will you help me think of a time where you felt really, really sad? I'm thinking in my life. Give me a thumbs up when you can think of a time where you felt kind of sad. I'm thinking of some stories some friends have told me. Mrs. Hillig, my fish died. Or I remember when a friend of mine lost their tooth and couldn't find it on the playground. I'm thinking about when our friend Parvitra moved away to Texas. And I remember feeling, gosh, I feel really sad. So, readers, my point is that you should use just right words to talk about your feelings. And my point is that we don't just fly through a book saying, my character is happy and sad and happy and sad and happy and sad. No way. Readers use precise words to describe exactly how their character's feeling. So let's practice finding just right words for a character's feelings by thinking about the book that I had you read for Read Aloud last week, called Not Norman, a Goldfish Story. Thumbs up if you read that one. If not, after you're done with this reading workshop video, you can go back and you can reread it and think about what we were thinking about today. But I remember from the beginning of that story, let me read to you from the beginning. It said, when I got Norman, I didn't want to keep him. I wanted a different kind of pet, not Norman. So I was reading this book and I was thinking, this kid should be so excited. It's his birthday. But he looks really sad. I'm looking at the picture again. I'm thinking, wait a minute. He wanted a different kind of pet. I don't really think he's sad exactly. I'm trying to think of what would be just the right word to use instead of sad. Do you have an idea, friends? I think what I'm thinking how he felt is disappointed. I know I would sure be disappointed if I didn't get what I wanted for my birthday. So I think disappointed is more of a just right word. So let me flip to another part of the story. All right, on this part of the story, it says, listen carefully, this is Norman, I decide, or this is it, Norman, I decide, I'm trading you in for a good pet. Norman doesn't move. Not even a fin twitches. How can I trade him like this? No one will want a sorry-looking fish in a gunky bowl. All right, friends, it is pretty clear that he is not happy with Norman. I'm trying to think. We might say that this character, this boy, that he's mad. But would that word be just right? Is he really mad? I'm thinking in my head for a little bit more. No, I don't think he's mad. You know what I think he is? I think he's annoyed. Yep, that's it. Because he wants to get rid of Norman, but can't, the way that the fish looks and all. I know I would be really annoyed if that happened. So here's the part where I need you to do some thinking today, friends. You're going to go off after we're done, and what you're going to do is you're going to look through your books, and you're going to see if you can find a page where you've used Post-it notes to think about how characters feel, and see if you can find a spot where maybe one of the characters in your books was really sad, and that you put a sad face Post-it. But then, now as avid readers, as people who think long and deep about their books, you're probably realizing that there's all sorts of different kinds of sadness. So what I want you to do is I'm going to have you go off and I want you to look through your books, pretend that this is partner reading, okay? Like we're on the polka dot rug on the owl side and we're doing our hip-to-hip sharing. And Mrs. Selig would tell you if partner A or partner B would go first. And what I want you to do is somebody at your house is telling each other about what kind of sad you think your character is feeling. Is the character from one book feeling the same kind of sad as the character from another book? We know that the boy in the book, he was really disappointed at one time, but then he also was really annoyed. Those were kind of like different kinds of sad. Is the same kind of sad that we felt when Parvitra moved away the same kind of sad as when somebody's pet fish died? They're kind of different kinds of sad. And I want you to talk about the particular kind of sad that the character is feeling in your book. I had an example real quick that I wanted to share you from one of our Just Right books. It's the story, The Three Little Pigs, which I know you know. And I was noticing this one part where the big bad wolf is blowing down the first house that's made out of straw. And I want you to look really carefully at that pig. And at first, I said, he's sad. I kind of did like a level 2 Post-it, and I made it into a level 3. I said, the pig is sad. But then I was thinking about what we've learned today, friends, about our stories and about how there can be different kinds of sad, and I want to use like a just right word. And I kind of changed it. So I'm going to actually take off this Post-it that says he's sad. And I think I'm going to change it to say that pig, I don't know, I think he's like either scared or maybe even terrified. Maybe he knows that wolves like to eat pigs and he is running for his life trying to get over to the second pig's house that's built of sticks. And we know what happens then, right? So friends, today what I want you to do, I want you to, after you get a second, to look through your baggy books, and I want you to talk about this with a partner. Could be a grown-up at your house, could be a brother or a sister. Then I want you to go off and I want you to do your private reading. And what I want you to do is I want you to really think, if you're noticing how a character feels, Whether it's happy or sad or mad, I want you to really dig in deep like avid readers would. And I want you to think, what kind of word would be the just right word? One thing I did, which you're welcome to do at your house, is to make a chart. So all I did was get a piece of paper and I got some Post-it notes. I'm really using a lot of Post-it notes as we're learning at home. And up here, I kind of put these kind of like level 1 feelings. Happy, sad, mad. But then I really thought, well, as I'm reading, what kinds of happy could there be? Could there be proud, like I was feeling at that Mr. Pleister, Dr. Hansen story? Could there be excited? For sad, I put disappointed. Maybe I could also make one. I'm going to make one that says annoyed, because I remember he was feeling really annoyed. I have to think of what that would look like. Or maybe that would be mad. Actually, I have it under mad. Under mad, I had annoyed and furious. That means really, really mad. So I have to think of how I would draw that picture. So I'm thinking these would kind of be level 1, like just saying happy, mad, sad. But these would be a little bit more deep thinking, like what avid readers would be doing. All right, friends. So today I want you to make sure that you are thinking about using your Post-it notes to do that deeper thinking about how your characters are feeling, okay? So I can't wait to check in with you. You are welcome to use our reading Padlet, like so many of you are, to share with me about those character feelings. You can also be sharing those with a grown-up and after your 20 minutes of private reading. And you can grab your partner again at your house and see if you can share with them and teach them a little bit more about these more precise words. When you're done also, then you're going to be, Miss Bablani has our share together today where she's going to be talking all about playing a game called Guess the Feeling Game. Okay? All right, friends, have a great reading workshop today. Happy reading.